This is volume 14 in Bad Movie Fights versus Good Movie Fights. In part 13, we learned that a good fight can be simple and clinical. It can exist in a bad movie and involve beasts. Anything with shaky cam is a major no-no. Anything with choppy editing to cover up actors who cannot fight is a major no-no. And remember, no gunfights allowed. So, let's do this. Let's start off with a good fight. This is a scene from the TV show Gangs of London. Now, if you love the incredible fights from the Raid series, you may know they are all directed by the Welsh director, Gareth Evans. Evans also created this show and directed 2 episodes, including this scene, which appears in Season 1, Episode 1. As you can see, this scene has all the hallmarks of Evans' work. It's brutal to the point of cruelty. It's clinical. We have his signature moving camera. And there is use of random weaponry. But this scene in itself is insane. Just as good as some of the best fights in the Raid. Now, the way that Evans got to this high level of fight direction was no fluke. He has crafted and honed his skills. There is a level of mathematics to the way he operates.
We'd follow down, and then what I do is here, so this is the idea of like combining shots to make it look like one take. Yeah. From here, I just move across really fast.
Swipe.
And then swipe. So basically, in that movement from here to here, I'll put a cut because I got mud everywhere. So I go from the start, so now I'm going to roll, and then action, and then I come across here, boom, slams him down, then turns him over, and then push him down. And then I'll switch across.
But let's go through the scene again, and look at the number of life-changing breaks there are here. Break, after break, after break.
If he's not in a position to like kill the guy, then he's at least in a position to make sure the guy can't get up afterwards. Okay. So that's why they target a lot of like the joints and things, and usually the legs.
What this signifies from a character standpoint is that our protagonist is extremely skilled and ruthless. The fact that he knows even that he needs to remove someone's leg basically in order for them to not fight back and for him to keep moving forwards suggests to me he might be a bit of a psychopath, but let's just call him skilled. And it ends with this chase. But no one does on-screen running better than Tom Cruise. That's a nasty fall. He, again, needs to take a leaf out of Tom Cruise's notepad when it comes to on-screen jumps. Go on, Tom. Jump, jump, Tom. Go on. Ah, there we go. Perfect. Now, I've never been anyone to tell anyone how to do their jobs, especially after they nail an incredible fight scene in a pub. But Trainspotting might just have done it a little bit better.
And after that, one again was mine.
You've got the wonderful Ewan McGregor.
Now borrow this.
You've got the wonderful Danny Boyle at the peak of his powers. And then you have this amazing performance from Robert Carlyle.
Lassie got glassed and no cunt leaves here till we find out what cunt did it. Who the fuck are you? Yes!
They call him the Robert De Niro of Scotland, but can he run like Tom Cruise? Yeah, not bad. In a previous video, a couple of people commented that DiCaprio versus a bear in The Revenant is not a fight scene. Now, I happen to think it is. I mean, the man is literally fighting a bear and fighting for his life. If that's not a fight scene, I don't know what is. But what about zombies then? Do they count? Because this is a pretty awesome scene from the movie 28 Weeks Later. And what makes zombie scenes so scary is when the zombies are fast. The Walking Dead didn't indulge in this type of zombieism, which is why by the time season 75 came around, the show was rather predictable. Oh, look, slow zombie again. The show was always better when the humans fought each other, which is why episode 2 of season 2, Rick versus Shane, was such an epic fight. This was John Berthnell's big break as an actor, and man, he sure chewed up every single scene.
You gotta bring this piece of garbage. This piece of garbage. He shot at you, Rick. He ran with men who tried to kill you. You gotta bring him back to where Lori sleeps? To where Carl sleeps?
This was a pivotal scene in terms of the narrative for the whole of the Walking Dead series.
We don't have a lot of lead time on a TV show. We have 8 days to shoot each episode. And the reason I have 2 stunt guys here that might not even make camera, the actors might do everything.
Do the uppercut. Yeah, I want to know what you guys do.
And what was so key about it is that this fight is a fight between 2 very different ideologies. Rick is all about people having free choice and being able to have an input. Shane is all about control and controlling through fear, violence, and decisiveness. This fight is more about their ideologies than anything else. And Shane did also bang his wife, but we're not talking about that. However, soon after this fight, Rick is changed forever as he eventually becomes Shane.
Now, no one is going anywhere.
You can do better. Let's see how far you get. No takers? Fine. We get one thing straight. You're staying. This isn't a democracy anymore.
The show did really have some really high points, especially with the governor.
Are not soldiers. Want us to kill miners? Of course, but this is crazy. Like, go home. Think you're gonna be safe? I'm going back.
And who doesn't love some Michonne?
Don't hurt her.
But it found itself in a spiral of repetition. Monologue after monologue, chased by zombies, a new bad guy threatens them, monologue after monologue, chased by zombies, a new guy threatens them. Actually, let's stop there.
Not making a decision is a big decision.
Because I love this bad guy. And for many, this is the moment they stopped watching The Walking Dead. The death of the beloved Glenn.
Back to it.
Which incidentally brings us on to our next fight, which features the actor who plays Glenn, Steven Yeun, and the creator of The Walking Dead, Robert Kirkman.
So be it.
This is Invincible versus Omni-Man. The TV show is called. And this is such an epic fight. Essentially, it's dad versus son, which adds to the tension. But aside from that, owing to the lack of limitation when it comes to animation, there are some incredible moments here.
Wrong to value them over your own kind.
The animation is slick and a true display of the strength of Omni-Man. And as you can see, it is chilling. As always, I have to point out the voice acting here from both Steven Yeun and Oscar-winning actor J.K. Simmons is extremely incredible.
Did you fight this thing before?
Yeah, but it's tougher now. Cecil sent it after me.
Cecil? Why would he do that?
There's so much you don't know, Mark.
What? Okay, maybe you can fill me in after you've taken care of tentacles here.
Especially here.
You want to die for this planet? Fine! What's 17 more years? I can always start again. Make another kid.
J.K. Simmons is also involved in another fight, but this time it's a little more unorthodox.
I'm gonna gouge out your motherfucking eye.
This is one for those of you who thought that the Leo vs. Bear wasn't a fight. There are two scenes in the film Whiplash that will live rent-free in my memory forever. This scene...
Was I rushing or was I dragging? Count again.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference! If you deliberately sabotage my band, I will fuck you like a pig.
And this scene. This is the ending scene of the film and the big showdown between our protagonist and, well, his antagonist. What makes this scene great is that much like the film, it's all about perfect rhythm. The editing is fantastic and we really feel for our protagonist here. He's been misled into performing at the show by his former vindictive music teacher. And the revenge here is sweet as he goes batshit crazy with a display of defiance that is long overdue. He beats his own demons, he beats his own fears, and he beats his former teacher, and then also earns the respect of his former teacher. And this killer end moment gets you off your seat. Okay, Tom, you can stop running now. Everyone knows teeing you up for the big finale. You can stop running. Tom? Tom. Okay, let's leave him running. We'll delve into another fight. But before I do so, yep, I'm going to need you to hit that like button, please. Go on, it only takes literally 1 second. And whilst you're there, do me a favor and hit the subscription button too. Right, back to this. So I'm not afraid to say this, I think, but I was a massive Arrow fan for about 4 seasons, maybe 5. In fact, this fight, which I love, was probably the last great moment of Arrow. And then it struggled to live up to the hype after the scene. This is Arrow versus Raj Al Gul. Yep, I probably butchered that name, but...
Am I pronouncing this right? Mr. Raj Al Gul?
This is the same Raj Al Gul as Liam Neeson played in Batman Begins.
You're not Raj Al Gul.
Are his methods supernatural?
I used to have like an internal battle with myself about whether I thought Stephen Amell was a good actor or a bad actor.
You speak Russian?
I didn't realize you took Russian at college, Oliver.
I didn't realize you wanted to sleep with my mother, Walter.
I couldn't work out whether he was playing Oliver McQueen in such a stilted fashion on purpose or if that was just the extent of his skills.
And you're picking now to lecture me or to whine about not getting a promotion?
Promotion? This isn't about a promotion, man. This is about you. And Diaz, you still can't see it.
See what?
He's already won, Oliver. He has the city wired, and it happened under your watch.
He showed up while you were the Green Arrow. You bought drugs from him, John. You funded what he is doing right now.
Yeah.
The entire time I put you in that hood and you hid having a drug problem.
But over the years, I see now that it was done on purpose, and as such, I do like him as the Arrow. And the end of this fight was jaw-dropping. It was series changing. Now, the reason I felt such shyness when saying I enjoyed Arrow is because it wasn't exactly flawless. Too many times would you get messy fight scenes like this, followed by glorious scenes like this. But it was an inherent problem with the CW shows. I mean, this is from Supergirl.
Get you out of the city. Maybe find a nice big farm.
The CGI, the fighting, the acting, just woeful. I used to watch this too. Gave up after season 2. The Flash was much better when it came to the acting. In fact, it was, for the first 3 seasons, the best show on CW. The writing and the acting was flawless. But the CG was always, let's say, subpar. But when you're working with a TV budget, that can happen. Which is why Banshee was a miracle of a TV show. Each episode was like a setup for a massive fight scene, non-stop action, and minimal storyline.
You hit him?
There's 2 fights that really stand out. Sheriff Hood versus champ Damian Sanchez. And Nola versus Burton.
Though you're Proctor's big bad watchdog, you don't look so tough from where I'm standing. So here's the plan. First, I'm gonna kill you. Then I'm going inside, and I'm gonna slowly gut your boss and his little house on the prairie niece.
I don't think so.
Let's focus on the second one, as I feel there's more happening here. There's a lot of hidden cuts in this scene, and thankfully, they are worth it. It really keeps the scene pulsating and thoroughly enjoyable. And much like the first fight in this video, it was brutal. And makes you want to recoil at times. And you see, that's the thing about TV fighting nowadays. They've really leveled up the game. In fact, more than movies, we are seeing some of the best fighting on our small screens, as opposed to the big screens. And if anyone disagrees with me, you can argue with this guy.
If you boys knew what's about to happen to you, you'd leave now. So I'll give you to the count of 3. 1.
Alan Ritchson is built like a tank, and all these fight scenes in Amazon's Reacher are like your sandcastle is being bulldozed. He is exactly how the character was written. Tall, strong, brainy, and quick-witted. Unlike Tom Cruise, who is strong and brainy and quick-witted, but does stand at 5'7". But his sheer force of will and superstardom always makes him big. And this is a pretty cool fight from the film Jack Reacher starring Tom Cruise. A delicious fight in the rain, which really needs a bit of context for it to really be special. Otherwise, it's really just two guys slogging out in a downpour of rain. This film was directed by the huge Cruise fave, Christopher McQuarrie, who also directed Cruise in this. This was McQuarrie's first foray into the Mission Impossible franchise, and no one has directed more Mission Impossible films than him. The scene should have been a great indicator as to how McQuarrie was going to fit in the franchise. There's so many standout moments, but this scene in particular is grand. We have this fight on the beam, the assassination threat, Benji watching,
Ethan, the lighting booth.
A first introduction to Rebecca Ferguson's character, and a booming opera. But McQuarrie handles the scene expertly. When one threat is neutralized, another is introduced. And even then, another is introduced. It's brilliant. And fact check me, but I think this might even be the first time that Benji throws fists in the series. And I cannot lie, this scene gets automatic brownie points just for this moment. This huge blockbuster franchise is such a far cry from the 1960s show. But the biggest moment of action in an episode would be this.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
Okay, for real now, Tom, you can stop running. So for the most part, this has been a TV-focused episode. Do you think that TV and streaming shows have better fights than movies? Let me know in the comments. And which of the fights did you think was the best from today? And which bad and good movie or TV fights should I cover in the next volume? This scene used to scare me to hell as a kid. This whole film was nightmare fuel. As a kid, I just thought of it as a bit of fun with Richard Pryor as the supporting character. But he's actually the lead, which begs the question, why?
I can't ski!
I do think I love this fight though. I haven't seen it since childhood, so maybe I don't. Would you like me to cover this fight in the next video in the series? Or maybe even the whole film as a standalone video? Let me know in the comments. This has been Bad Movie Fights versus Good Movie Fights, Volume 14. Okay, Tom, really dude, stop running.
I'm just telling you right now, okay? Just put your manners back in.